Hey, I've been wanting to make this video for months, and it's so funny. You're gonna see me like change so many costumes and like beard sizes and probably like haircuts and anyways, glad I just finally got around to finally making it. I'm recording the intro last, so this is the most recent version of me, if you will. And yeah, all the past demos are gonna tell you how timing works in dance games. No, but on the real, I've been just loving all the dialogue and convos that something like ITL Online 2025 brings out in the community. So I really like, frequenting, lurking, actively participating in the ITC server. There's always lots of good discussions going on around timing and how to get better. And, Pink Dad released this great Quint guide in written text. And so that inspired me. And yeah, there's just like the scopability by Telp. There's just so many like cool things happening all the time, and DDR is like bigger than ever too. So I thought, why not? Let's just make a video on timing, and this is hopefully going to be one of many videos. So this initially was just going to be like an autocomplete style of video and just have it be all about ICG timing, but it just really goes everywhere. I don't know. I think, and I really just want this to be part of a bigger video, but this is now its own video where I just summarized a bunch of questions I got on my server about timing in dance games. And so I took my stab at answering all these off the top of my head, and then I did some extra video editing on top to just give you more to look at. I hope it reaches you. I hope it finds you well. And as always, I really enjoy reading every YouTube comment I get. So just let me know what resonated with you. Let me know what the other videos in this timing series should and could, would be. And we'll go from there. So hoping you're all well and enjoy the video.
How should players approach timing, visually or by sound? And which method do you find more effective?
I really feel like this is just such a classic debate, and Veritasium, a really good YouTube channel, put out a good explainer video on why learning styles are a myth. Like if you're a teacher or you heard this in education, like I'm a visual learner, I'm a whatever learner, like it's demonstrably false. There are white papers about it on how it's false. And I kind of feel like this is the dance game version of that. Like people say they're like aural players or they're visual players, and I personally feel like it's all bullshit. I really recommend this great book by Daniel Kahneman, and it's called Thinking Fast and Slow, and it's a really good primer on how you should think about attention and your brain. And so the way I would answer this question from Jenny and Pules is I find the most effective method to be both together. And you need to be not conscious that you're doing either. The expert, aka in this situation, I'm going to be arrogant and say me, what I've mastered is I am not really thinking about timing. I'm really thinking about how to be calm and just let myself do what I know how to do best, which is hit blue notes, in a video game. So what I have done and what I recommend people doing is that they practice visual timing, practice, their internal metronome, their counting. Like you want to get good at reading really quickly, reading as fast as possible while still being in full control of your body, right? That and whatever other visual components you can imagine, right? Like looking as close to the targets as possible. I'm going to go into this in a future video. I want to keep this pretty snappy. Already rambling. Sound. Be able to count the music. Be able to hear and internalize the metronome, the rhythm, right, of the music. Be able to get all blues on an easy 6 or 7, right? Demonstrate that you can count and hear the music and feel it, right? So the more you do both, the more you practice both, the more you're going to move both of those to your subconscious. You will not be actively thinking of these things.
What do you keep your eyes while playing? And would you consider yourself primarily visual or audio-oriented?
I look here. Wait, no. Here, here, wait, here. I look here, exactly here. To the best of my knowledge, right? I'm not consciously thinking about where I'm looking when I play the game, so I have to like do my best guess in making this video. And like I kind of said in the last answer, I am very much audio oriented, but that has to do with my love of music and how I prefer to listen to music versus not, like in daily life, right? So I think that my brain cares more about music, but I'm still really good at timing with my eyes. Like I've quinted, quadded things on mute, so it's really tough to say, but like, am I doing that because I can keep time really well and listen to my own steps? Or am I visually matching? It's really hard to say. I don't think I can tell you with matter of fact. So I'm going to go with audio oriented, but do both.
What does proper ITG form look like? And how is it different from DDR style?
I really think the main thing that's different is just like the amount of trust you have in your setup. So on a DDR pad, I have to try a lot harder. I have to assume it's a lot worse. I have to assume that brackets will be near impossible to hit versus on my setup or versus on Flash's setup or whatever, Chris's setup. I know it's going to be more flush. I know I'm going to have to try to move less because their pads are really sensitive. I'm going to be, our pads are really sensitive. And like, you can just basically do what you want and get away with it most of the time. So DDR is not like that at all. I think DDR is just, it's tough to, you really have to try to hit the arrows intentionally. Otherwise, mostly the same. And there's this great graphic. The discussion happened in my server, and Sore drew this great graphic that I think is actually pretty good. So yeah, aiming for the inner sensors, but sometimes DDR up arrows are the absolute worst. So you do have to try to go above and beyond, no pun intended, to hit the up arrow on DDR. But yeah, mostly the same. I would just say more trust in ITG setups.
How do you approach using the bar? And do you adjust how much weight you put on it for different types of content?
To start off, let's do some bullets. So, what is the point of the bar? So, you want to have balance when complexity is high. You want to have control at all times, but especially when complexity is low. You can do faster footwork by shifting your weight distribution between legs, arms. This is something Chris does exceptionally well, better than anybody, I think. You can preserve stamina when it's a long song, again, by with doing that shift. And then this goes back to the very first question, which is it's all about reducing mental load, mental stack, mental energy, whatever you want to call it. The point of timing, the point of the bar, the point of everything is to move all of your skill, all of the hard parts of the game to your subconscious. When you add the bar to the game, it elevates your ability to do more of this moving to subconscious because you're taking endurance, you're taking getting tired, getting, having to contort your body, that part of the game that we love and appreciate so much. Using the bar allows you to focus your mental energy on reading patterns rather than being in control of your body. So it's really paramount that you do it well, right? No bar players will get capped in ITG. They will get capped in DDR. There's amazing no bar players, but in my opinion, you can only achieve a certain level of success unless you use the bar. Why? It's just like any other sport. Getting a little heated. Just like any other sport where you just have all these implements, you have all these tools. Let's say like, I don't know, shot put, right? It's like why wouldn't you use a 20-pound shot put versus a 40-pound one, right? Maybe you practice with 40-pound ones, but then like if everyone's doing 20, like why would you all of a sudden just choose something more difficult? To me, like back in the day, this is getting to ramble territory, so I may cut. Back in the day, we had very, very intense opinions on bar no bar. Today, 2025, there is literally no reason why anyone should be playing no bar unless it's just for fun. And I do it just for fun. I play no bar just for fun, but I do it with mods. I don't do it with FA plus, stamina, etc. because that's not what the situation demands. I distribute the weight between my feet and hands, typically like let's say 70% feet. When it gets more intense, I showed this in my DDR ITG comparison. I shift more weight to my arms, I lower my center of gravity, and I do that to reduce my leg fatigue, to make it easier to rotate my body when my trunk when it comes to crossovers. For crossovers and spins, I actually do something crazy. I grab as hard as I can. I go maybe 100%. The weed kicked in, and so for intense like something like first remote 15, maybe I'll get I'll throw in a video of Chance playing here, which is my favorite ITG video ever, probably. Like I am grabbing so hard, and I am just rotating my trunk quickly. It helps me get angular momentum. Um, what else am I forgetting about the bar? Kevbo, shout out to Kevbo. There's an insane method you can do that I've seen him pilot, which is like the one hand on the bar. And so what that does is it even allows your trunk more mobility to go side to side, more momentum to do the 180 spins you need to do crossovers really intensely when it's like a really fast song. Um, but yeah, I also recommend palms down. I don't know how to. I'll just show you a photo or video of how I hold the bar. Don't hold the bar the other way with your thumbs in. So yeah, thumbs out, I guess. It'll hurt your wrists. Hope you enjoyed. I really look forward to all the comments. I'm not the only one with good form, good technique, good thoughts on timing. There's so many legends out there, so many developing players that are just getting good so fast. So shout outs to all of you. Yeah, just let me know what resonated and talk about good stuff, good technique, good form, good timing, good thoughts in the comments. See you in part 2.